You bought gold thinking you outsmarted the system. You didn't. You walked straight into the trap. Every ounce sitting in your safe right now, it's a tracking beacon, a tax target, a confession of wealth the system will collect when it's ready. While you were stacking bars, they were stacking laws. Executive Order 6102 wasn't history, it was the beta test. And this time, they won't need soldiers at your door. They'll just flip a switch. Here's what nobody's telling you. Physical gold isn't your escape route. It's your ankle monitor. In the next 10 minutes, you'll discover why the cave dwellers who buried their treasure in the ground are about to learn the hardest lesson in financial evolution. And by the end, you'll know exactly which asset the system can't touch, because it doesn't have a barcode. Jake learned this at 4:02 one morning when federal agents didn't show up. Something worse did. Let me show you the trick your caveman brain is falling for right now. When the tribe sees danger, what does it do? Grabs the heaviest, shiniest rock and runs to the cave. That instinct kept you alive 10,000 years ago. Today, it's making you the easiest mark in the modern jungle. Gold feels safe because it's heavy, solid, real, you can hold it. Your ancestors fought wars over it. Your brain screams, this is wealth, this can't disappear. But here's the glitch in that prehistoric wiring. The system doesn't need your gold to disappear. It just needs you to declare it exists. Every country on Earth already has the legal framework ready, not for if, for when. The playbook is written, tested, refined since 1933. They learned something crucial from the Great Depression gold confiscation. You don't need to find every coin. You just need to make ownership dangerous and selling mandatory. Think about what's already in place right now. Precious metal dealers report transactions over certain thresholds. Online purchases leave digital trails. Storage facilities have your name in databases. Safety deposit boxes require identification. You thought you were going off-grid. You signed your name on every step. But here's where it gets visceral. The real trap isn't confiscation. It's taxation through immobility. Let me explain this like you're trying to carry a mammoth through enemy territory. Gold has one fatal weakness the system exploits: inertia. It's heavy, difficult to move, impossible to divide cleanly. Try buying groceries with a 1-ounce bar. Try crossing a border with 50 pounds of metal. The system knows this. That's why they love when you stack physical. You've voluntarily imprisoned your wealth in matter. Here's the physics. Energy required to protect gold equals energy the system can drain from you. Every hour you spend worrying about where it's hidden, whether it's safe, if you should move it, that's energy you're not using to build real sovereignty. Meanwhile, the digital currency infrastructure is being built around you right now. Not next year, now. Central bank digital currencies aren't coming. They're here. Pilot programs in 130 countries. The rails are laid. And here's what makes your gold stack worthless in that system. Programmable scarcity beats physical scarcity. Always. When money can be coded to expire, to only work in certain stores, to shut off if you say the wrong thing online, your shiny rocks become museum pieces. You can't eat gold, can't heat your home with silver. And when the local grocery store only accepts the government's app, that stack of eagles in your basement becomes a very expensive paperweight. The cave dwellers who stored all their meat in one location learned this the hard way when winter came. The bear knew exactly where to look. Jake, 37, industrial equipment sales manager, married to Rebecca for 9 years, 2 kids, Emma, 7, and Lucas, 4, salary, $4,850 month. living in a 3-bedroom house they're still paying off. Started stacking gold in early 2023. Every bonus, every commission check, 20% straight into 1-ounce American Eagles. Felt smart, secure, like he was protecting his family from the inevitable collapse. By October, he had 47 ounces, $94,000 in gold sitting in a safe bolted to his basement floor. Checked it every Sunday after church. Ran his fingers over the coins. That weight felt like security. Tuesday, November 14th, 4:02 a.m. Jake sat straight up in bed. Heart pounding, not from a nightmare, from a realization. His company had just announced layoffs, 30% of sales staff. He might survive the cut, might not. Decision Friday. He went downstairs, opened the safe, stared at those 47 coins. One thought wouldn't leave. If I lose this job Thursday, how do I pay December's mortgage with gold? Called 3 local dealers Wednesday morning. Best offer, $1,847 per ounce. Spot price was $1,978. He'd lose $6,157 just converting to cash he could actually use. But worse, the dealer required his driver's license, social security number, IRS Form 8300 for transactions over $10,000, every ounce documented, reported, tracked. The off-grid insurance policy had a paper trail longer than his mortgage. Friday came. Jake kept his job barely. But Saturday morning, Rebecca asked, "If something happens, how fast can we access that gold?" Jake stared at his coffee. No answer. Sunday, he didn't check the safe. That week, he opened a different kind of account, learned a different kind of storage, one that couldn't be confiscated, taxed, or traced, one that crossed borders at the speed of thought. Month 3, Jake still had the gold, but it wasn't his plan A anymore. It was a historical artifact he kept as a reminder of the trap he almost died in. His coworker asked last Tuesday, "You still stacking?" Jake smiled. "I upgraded to something the system can't put handcuffs on." Here's what Jake learned. What the gold bugs won't tell you because their entire identity is wrapped up in being prepared. The only wealth they can't control is the wealth they can't see, can't weigh, and can't regulate with a signature. I'm not talking about stocks, not bonds, not real estate. Those are all registered, tracked, taxed. I'm talking about knowledge, skills, networks, and yes, digital assets that exist outside the traditional system entirely. But here's the critical distinction. Not the digital assets your government is building, the ones they're trying to ban. That's how you know they're the real threat to control. When 130 countries rush to create their own digital currency while simultaneously trying to kill the ones they don't control, that's not coincidence. That's fear. The cave dweller who learned to make fire didn't need to carry it everywhere. He needed to know how to make it. That knowledge crossed borders, survived winters, couldn't be confiscated. Your gold can't do that. But a 12-word seed phrase, 24 words that unlock wealth anywhere on Earth, that's fire-making knowledge in digital form. Here's the part that makes gold stackers uncomfortable. The future belongs to those who can move, physically, financially, mentally. Your 50-pound safe full of metal, that's an anchor, not a life raft. I've watched people spend $100,000 on gold, then lose sleep about where to hide it, stress about home invasions, worry about inheritance laws, pay premium storage fees, deal with insurance, handle assay costs. All that energy burned protecting matter. Meanwhile, someone else memorized 12 words, crossed 3 continents, started fresh, Zero paper trail. Same wealth, different physics. Right now, before you close this video, I want you to do something uncomfortable. Open your Notes app, not later, now. Write down this question. If I had to leave my house in 60 minutes with only what I could carry, how much of my wealth comes with me? Be honest, actually calculate it. Your gold, if you can lift it and risk traveling with it maybe. Your silver, too heavy. Your real estate, gone. Your bank accounts, frozen in a crisis. Your stocks, locked behind brokers and regulations. What's left? Now here's the second question. What wealth can I access from anywhere on earth with nothing but my memory? That number should terrify you if it's zero. Because the next phase of this financial transition isn't about collapsing currencies or bank runs. It's about mobility versus imprisonment. The system wants you anchored, invested in unmovable things, tied to locations, dependent on their infrastructure to access your own wealth. Every ounce of gold you stack makes you less mobile, more trackable, easier to control. The cave dwellers who survived the longest weren't the ones with the biggest pile of meat in one cave. They were the ones who knew how to hunt anywhere. Here's your 72-hour protocol. Calculate your mobility ratio. Wealth you can access anywhere divided by total wealth. If it's under 30%, you're a sitting target. Learn the technology you've been avoiding, not the government's version. The one they're trying to kill, that's your signal. Build knowledge that crosses borders. Skills, languages, networks that exist independent of your location. And that gold stack, keep some if it helps you sleep, but stop pretending it's your escape route. It's a museum piece from the last war. The next one won't be fought over who has the most metal. It'll be fought over who can move fastest. Comment mobility secured if you calculated your ratio and realized you've been building the wrong kind of wealth. If you're the type who refuses to be a sitting target while others stay anchored to the cave floor, the video on screen shows you exactly which digital assets the system fears most and why they're rushing to ban them before you wake up. Like this video. Share it with someone still stacking bars thinking they're safe. Subscribe because every week I show you how to go from cave dweller to borderless survivor. And drop in the comments, what percentage of your wealth can you access with just your memory right now? Let's see who's actually prepared and who's just carrying heavy rocks.